Hi, this is Jeff from the Ozark Mountains, that's in Missouri, in the USA. We're sitting over at the retro kitchen table turned retro computer table, so that can only mean one thing. That's right, it's time for another Ferengi Friday. Ferengi Friday is where we take a look at the recent acquisitions that have made their way into the shop. So, grab yourself a cup of joe or a Rectogino and let's get started. Thanks to PCBWay for sponsoring this video. They not only do PCBs and flex PCBs, they also have 3D printing service, injection molding service, they do CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication. They also have a thriving maker community where you can share projects and check out what other people are doing. For your next project, head on over to PCBWay. Well, first off here we have a donation. This is from a fellow named Rick, all the way from Canada. And I believe this is a bunch of Pocket Computer related manuals, so I'll get this dumped out and we'll have us a look. So we have the TRS-80 Pocket Computer Programs book by Jim Cole from Radio Shack, part number 62-2086, $1.95. It's even spelled out here. 50 ready-to-run programs for business, education, and home. Metric converter, frequency and wavelength, grade sorting. Interesting, in very good shape. And on the back they advertise some of their other computer books. I used to love getting these types of things from Radio Shack. What a magical place it was. And 99 tips and tricks for the new Pocket Computers, also by Jim Cole. 99 all-new ready-to-run programs for the TRS-80, PC2, and Sharp PC1500. You know, my favorite. Nifty. Oh, $7.95. This one's thicker. It's got twice as many programs, and it's 3 times as much. 7-bar graph. Ooh, somebody circled some things they like there. Winging arrows left. And 1 arrow left. Nifty. There's one of these books that somebody just scanned and OCR'd all the programs in. I don't remember which one it was. Problem solving on the TRS-80 Pocket Computer. Got the PC one here. Don Inman and Jim Conlon. A self-teaching guide. Published by Wiley. And this one I've not seen before. So it's kind of designed to teach you how to develop programs. Oh, lots of underlining. Interesting. Yeah, this one's a new one to me. The service manual for the PC2. This is a photocopied version, but it's fairly decent quality. I guess this is about as good as what's available online. It belonged to Ralph before. And Sam's TRS-80/Sharp Pocket Computer Programs. Isn't that nifty? It's 22078 by Howard Barenbaum. It's easy to read, many programs. Oh, nice big print. That's for us old guys now. Home applications, depreciation schedules, spelling test, memory challenge, math test, all sorts of stuff. Yep. Oh, I see what these plastic bits are. That's this comb is deteriorating with time. Yep. May have to try to replace that. Yeah, it's just the plastic is cracking with age. Well, thanks, Rick. That was nice of you to send all this stuff to me, and I will put them to good use. Next up, we have this big box from a fellow named Michael. No, it is not a coffee machine. It is full of pocket and portable computer parts that he had left over from projects, and he didn't want to pitch them, so he offered to send them to me, which is real nice. I'll get this unpacked and we'll see what's there. Okay, first up, we have a completely disassembled TI something in the Ziploc bag. This is probably like a TI 58 or TI 59. Let's see, it is a 58. And of course all the keys fell out, but the case itself is in good shape. The keyboard's been desoldered. There's the main board. Display. And of course, you know, I have no idea what was originally wrong with these guys. The battery pack, which has been partially disassembled, and the solid state ROM module, or they call it solid state memory. It's just a little PROM in there that plugs into the computer or the calculator. So, you know, for another machine with a broken case or something, this would be good. A lot of these old calculators with rechargeable battery packs, if the battery pack went bad or you didn't have the battery pack installed and you plug the charger in, you'd blow up the machine because the batteries actually help regulate the voltage the machine sees. So we have another TI 58 here. This one is completely assembled. Classic corrosion on the battery pack contacts. This one's actually broken. Other than that, it doesn't look too bad. Got a little rattle in there. And this looks to be a bag of Sharp PC 1250, 1251 type of thing. Completely disassembled. Looks like there's 2 units in there. So, and you think, okay, what's this good for? Well, sometimes you might have a damaged key, or I know somebody that might be able to use this RAM-ROM board here. I think you can get replacement LCDs for these now. So, and like this case is in pretty good shape. So if you got a nasty case, you can replace it. So that's always a good thing. Parts like that for things that are unobtainium now are invaluable. And MOSU, what is that? Well, Epson gives us a clue. MOSU, this is the main board from an Epson HX20. It's had all the socketed chips pulled, but we still have RAM chips. More RAM chips. Some of the other stuff in there. So it looks like this has probably been recapped, but otherwise not functional. So this is good for spare parts. You know, things like the special connectors and things like that. These ribbon cable connectors. These guys you might not be able to get exact replacements, so having spare parts around is always good. Okay, lots of Sharpie goodness. So here we have most of a Sharp CE150 printer cassette interface. The printer's not in there, obviously. Physically, this looks in good shape. But you might just be able to see here there is a little bit of bubbling. I don't know if that'll come out on the camera or not. There's a little here. That's a sign that the battery was outgassing and corroding inside. So we don't know what the inside of this will be like, but it's a good case, so we might be able to swap a different board into it. In here, let me rearrange here. Okay, we have a nice case. I think this was originally for the PC 1500, and it's got miscellaneous stuff in it. This is a printer for like the PC 1211 type pocket computer, I think. This one's got some broken bits on it. It's been desoldered. You know, but maybe it's got a good print head. That would be a good replacement part. The motor would be a good replacement part. That type of thing. So it's worth keeping around. What do we have here? Talker 80 for the TRS-80 Model 3 and 4. Oh, I think these were a reproduction speech synthesis board. Yeah, so it's got the gals in it, but they're not soldered in. And you populate the rest of the things there. Okay. This looks like another TI. Let's open this up and see. Oh gosh, I just threw parts on the floor. Okay, this is TI-59 with solid state software. Corrosion inside from leaking battery pack. Yeah, corrosion all over the card reader module. So this guy is just parts, maybe display, things like that. It's been eaten up very badly by a leaking battery pack. And we have a Model 100 LCD display. That is always very useful for parts. These drivers are unobtainium. You know, the glass may be good, but have a corroded board, and I can use the glass in another machine. So I like collecting bad LCD modules for the Model 100 so I can piece them together and make new ones. I've got new zebra strips in stock for those. So now we'll get over here into these other two boxes. Okay, another sharp case that's in good shape. And this has a board in it that is something I do not recognize. It's got, oh, you probably can't see it. Okay, this board I don't recognize. It's got a jack here, power jack, a connection for something. Maybe this is a printer control board for something. This is probably a cassette interface here. Although I don't know because it would have one more jack for the remote, typically. So if you recognize what this board is, let me know in the comments below. Had some other things soldered here. There's no indication on the back. Okay, a nice case. And we got another similar case here. And this has an enclosure for the CE125. Oh, was this the CE125 board? No, I don't think so. There's not enough switches. That's not it. Oh yeah, like that. Yep, that's how that goes. Oh, you guys can't see that, sorry. This is the CE125 board. So everything lines up like that. So maybe the printer piece that we got was also out of this. Yes, that very well could be. Okay. Now we have a better idea. I'll grab that printer piece and put in with one of these other cases. We've got a few more things in the big box to take a look at. Okay, next up we have a TRS-80 Model 100 organ donor. This must be the one LCD's from. It's in good physical condition. The bezel's not all scratched up. We're missing screws and a battery cover, but it's in good physical shape. And a few years ago, I had a friend give me an old beat up Model 100, and I've used that to fix like 3 or 4 others. You know, pulling chips out of it and, you know, the contrast pot and different things like that. So having donor machines is essential to keeping other machines going. In here, we have a silver case for an Epson HX20. Overall in good shape. It's got a little scuffing here. Looks like a little road rash. But if somebody has a busted case, that would come in handy. And here it looks like we have most of an HX20. It's got the cassette still in it, the printer, some fairly new batteries, but it's missing the LCD. The LCDs are kind of finicky on these if they go bad. So that will be good for parts. These things are going for crazy money now when they're in complete condition, so having one for parts is handy. Even having an extra keyboard can be a godsend at some time. So thanks, Mike, for all these great spare parts. Okay, now on to stuff that came from the HHC conference. Every year, Hewlett-Packard donates some swag, you know, like stuff they found in a closet somewhere, that type of thing. And there's a drawing, and it's fun. You get to pick out something. I got this nifty HP carry bag. It's got this top zipper here, another zipper over on the side. In the side, I put a charger and a second charger, which is for, let me zip that back up on account of it don't fall out. Oh gosh, everything's falling over here. Okay. Which is for this guy. There's a couple other little guys in there, which I don't remember. Oh, that's the programs for it. And oh my God, there is, this is my folder packet from the conference with some notes I made. And I've been looking all over for this. I did not look in that freaking bag. Amazing. And it has the conference thumb drive on it, which is, you know, the only thing that's really important and not as easily replaceable. Okay, so this is a prize. It was off the prize table. Everybody brings stuff in and donates it, and you know, your number gets called and you get to pick a prize. It's a lot of fun. So this is one of the things. It's a TI-59. It is working. It's got the spot for the solid state memory, i.e. a little ROM cartridge that plugs in there. I can't pop the battery lid off there with my thumbnail. The contacts for the battery are corroded, and like I said, we need to put a good battery pack in and clean those contacts, and this will work. This thing has a magnetic card reader right here, which I'm sure does not work right. There are 2 wallets of cards. So there's an overlay that some programs will come with an overlay like that. But then, you know, the card would have text on it, which you slip into. After you load the program, you can slip the text part into there, which tells you what these hotkeys are. The head cleaning card, complex trig, TI-5859 master library, and then TI-5859 marine navigation for all the big ocean bodies we have in the middle of Missouri. So, no, these are cool. And also with that was synthetic program. This is some books I got in a different section of the same drawing. Synthetic programming on HP 41. TI-5859 master library. Book for that. Pretty awesome. And personal programming for the TI-5859. Lots of TI stuff. Branching out into something different. So I think I've got one old TI calculator that's my favorite, and sometime I'll do an episode on that. I think it won't be until next year though, but I have a good reason for that. And the most ridiculous prize of all, this umbrella. Yes, it is an umbrella. It's not just any umbrella, it's an HP umbrella. And it's not just an HP umbrella, it's an umbrella with an app. Yes, powered by rain alerts. So now, after thousands of years of people carrying umbrellas, we now know when to carry them because we have an app to tell us. You know, previously we had to rely on, you know, the axiom of if rain is falling from the sky, put something over your head, but now we have an app to tell us precisely when we should carry an umbrella. And unfortunately, I tried to download this onto my phone. It doesn't seem like the Android version is available anymore. Maybe it still is for iPhone. It's not a bad umbrella, but it just killed me that it comes with an app. And it even has a little carrying sleeve for it. So who would have thunk that we needed an app to know when to use our freaking umbrellas. Simply amazing. It's a nice big umbrella though. Okay, now we're on to stuff from Tandy Assembly. Got a couple boxes like this. I'll dump this one out on the table and we'll have a look. Okay, so we start to develop an idea here. We have a box of paper for the CGP 115 4-color printer plotter with our favorite Alps mechanism, catalog number 261428. Very nice looking box. Which means, of course, we have a gray CGP 115. There was actually two in this auction lot. I got this from the Tandy Assembly auction. People bring in things to donate and they get auctioned off, and you get some new cool junk and it helps raise money to cover the cost of putting the show on. So kind of good all the way around. Anyhow, there was actually twice as much stuff in this lot, and I split it with a fellow from the Netherlands named Ruud. And so we each got a printer and some miscellaneous junk to go along with it. Partial roll of paper. A kind of strange Tandy Radio Shack ruler. It's got 1/8 inches. Other things up here. 261313. I have an idea this is for page layout, but it's kind of a weird setup. You know, my dad did advertising and he had scales and picas and points, which is measurement systems you use in printing, but I've never seen anything like this before. Miscellaneous serial cable made with several shielded cables, kind of interesting homemade deal there. Line printer cartridge for a DMP 100 line printer, which I don't have, but it's a catalog number 26-1424, $8.95. Various ribbon cables for the Model 3 and 2, or Model 3 and 12, I guess. Some sort of cigarette lighter power adapter. It's like a generic thing. There's no, oh, you can't see that. Anyhow, it's a cigarette power adapter, so you can plug in car accessories in your house. SPN 4025A. More ribbon cables, antenna switch box stuff. More serial cable and parallel cable ends and adapters and stuff. IDE cables, printer cables, and a bunch of new pins for that CGP 115 null modem adapter still in the package. So since these have been capped in the tube and in the package, those pins might still be good, but I don't want to open them because they're still in the package. Pretty nifty, and Ruud got just as many. So now for the next box. It's the same size box with different stuff in it, so we'll see it next. Okay, what do we have here? Well, we have a plastic cover with beige paint on it on a Radio Shack TRS-80 multi-pin plotter. It comes with the manual. Part number, or catalog number 261191. Look at that. Nice Radio Shack manual. It's a printout of a program there. And the furnace is kicking on. Okay, so after the furnace shut off, let's get back to the plotter here. So this is our plotter. It is a RS-232 interface unit. It holds 6 pins on the side here, and this little guy will go over and grab the pin or put the pin back, evidently. It's got some lights and buttons here on the back. It came with this paper in there showing an example of what it can do. This has been printed a couple times, slightly off in registration. Here's a little better version of that. Imagine being able to do this in the early 1980s. You would be the coolest kid on the block. And you slide this guy forward, it lifts up the paper holders. You can slide your fresh sheet of paper under there. And then clamp it down. And it came with this bag of goodies here, which is new pins, lots of new pins. At least these pins are big and they'll hold a lot of ink. I don't know what's in this other bag here. Oh, even more new pins in there. There's probably, 15 or 20 pins, an extra pin holder, lots of stuff. So I thought this would be a lot of fun. I love old plotters. Since this is a serial interface, we could do something crazy like connect it to a PC too and have a little bitty pocket computer controlling this giant plotter. That would be a lot of fun. We could also hook it to one of the big Tandy machines. Speaking of big Tandy machines, you may have noticed that the big computer in the back has changed. It's no longer a Model 2. It has miraculously turned gray-white and turned into a Model 12, which has two 8-inch floppy drives on it. Amazing. I actually picked this up at Tandy Assembly from a guy I know that lives out in Kansas. He's already gone through the power supply and things like that. It works. It was running there. And I got this so I can get this set up to run Xenix, which was a Unix operating system that Microsoft made back in the day. And Tandy was the biggest seller of Unix systems for, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years in the early 80s. And he included a box of 8-inch disc. It has the proper keyboard, which are always hard to find. Any machine that doesn't take a standard IBM keyboard that had a detachable keyboard is problematic. And I also picked this up from Ian Maverick, all the way from Australia. This is a Model 2 hard disk controller board. This board plugs into the Model 2 and it will talk to a hard disk drive. The hard disk drive has, this is like an interface board, and the hard disk drive has the control board that actually controls the drive. This allows the Model 2 to talk to the controller in the hard drive. I'm actually going to connect this to a Fred, so I won't have a big humongous spinning MFM hard drive, which will fail if you look at it sideways. But Ian reproduces these. You can see there's a lot of chips on here. There's some that are hard to get, and he tracks them all down, reproduces the board, solders it all together, and sells them for a good price. Awesome job, Ian. Well, how about that for an eclectic assortment of oddities? We had some pocket computer books, some pocket computer parts, a computer that is definitely too big to fit in your pocket, a nice smallish line plotter, a even smaller plotter than that in the box that's down on the floor now, that's CGP 115, and some miscellaneous stuff, including an umbrella with an app. How weird is that? If you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comment section down below. I sure would love to hear from you. Thanks to everyone who helps support the Hey Birt channel through donations and through other means. It's greatly appreciated. And until next time, bye.